Presented by Bell Tire. It has been a disappointing start to the series for the Tigers. 2 games into the second half, they've been frustrated. The first couple of games here against Chicago. The good thing is, as they say in baseball, stick around, you've got a game the very next day. And that's the situation again here today. As we welcome you to Comerica Park on a great day for baseball. Final game of the series featuring the White Sox and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us here this afternoon. Rod Allen will join us in a moment. Now, the Tigers have not had their way, certainly, with the White Sox the first 2 games. Sox beating Justin Verlander on Friday. They survive a good outing for Max Scherzer yesterday, but today the Tigers have different plans, and they really need to get going because things are starting to bunch up in the American League Central Division. Tigers now behind Cleveland by 1 game. Look at Chicago. They are just 4 games back in Minnesota. They will always hang around. They are just 6 games back. The Indians playing Baltimore today, and the Royals are playing the Minnesota Twins. So the Tigers hoping to avoid the sweep here this afternoon. Glad to have you with us. Stay with us. Starting lineups, first pitch coming up. But right now, back to the Call Sam studios we go. And here's Trevor Thompson. Combines for 3 or more home runs in this game. Make sure you bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get yourself a free small order of curly fries. Now, we told you it's kind of warm here at the ballpark today. Weather, I think, Ron, will be an issue. As we look at some of the numbers, it's going to be kind of toasty today.
No doubt about that. I know both of these clubs here with outstanding trainers have made sure their guys have drinking plenty of water the last couple of days.
And so we'll see how that has an effect on today's game here this afternoon as another fine crowd continues to file in here to Comerica Park. Ozzie Guillen of the Chicago White Sox are looking for the sweep here this afternoon after taking the first 2 games in the series. And here is the starting lineup for Chicago, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Juan Pierre will lead it off. He'll play in left field, followed by Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop. Paul KONERKO and Adam Dunn in the middle of the lineup, along with Carlos Quentin. Alex Rios really struggling this year. He's in center field. And their bottom 3 is A.J. Pierzynski, Gordon Beckham, and Mark Teahen rounding it out for the Chicago White Sox. And for the White Sox, Ozzie Guillen has seen his team play a little bit better, I think, at the start of the second half, and they've got a chance today for the sweep.
They've got a veteran team. They are battle tested. They have several veteran players on that club. They've got a veteran manager. They know exactly what they need to do. They've got a payroll over $100 million, so it's really up to them to show up the second half of the season, and they've already started off doing that.
Yeah, they're just trying to get back up to the 500 mark. They're 2 under right now. Here's the scouting report on Brad Penny, presented today by Scott's Lawn Pro.
He's been a nice fit for the Tigers. They signed him to a free agent contract in the offseason to be their number 5 starter, and for the most part, he's given them a chance to win when he's gone out there. He has pitched some of his best baseball against the White Sox, and he's done it with a lot of good two-seam fastballs at the bottom of the strike zone, and he's gotten a lot of ground balls. His infielders have been busy when he has been on the bump.
Well, as we look at the season numbers on Brad Penny, his last 4 starts have been pretty good. In fact, his ERA in that stretch, 3.12. And the one thing we can say, Rod, is he will give you some innings.
He's made 18 starts already, and that's, I'm not saying that's more than they thought he would have made at this point in time. You just never know when you're getting a guy that really was injured the last year or so. Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's always presented by Beaumont Health System. You have Gertz in center field. Once again, Jackson still bothered by that sore left wrist. As a matter of fact, they may have to put Edwin Jackson on the disabled list. Carlos Guillen, he made his first appearance since last August at second base, so it's good to see him back as well in the infield.
There's Carlos Guillen getting his 2nd consecutive start after coming back off the disabled list. Jim Leland made it clear he will certainly have to keep an eye on him the rest of the way here in the second half to make sure he stays healthy. And, of course, in center field, Andy Dirks filling in for Austin Jackson, and hopefully things will get better for him soon, but right now we just don't know.
Well, yeah, and I called Austin Edwin, but Edwin is still on my mind from yesterday, that spectacular pitching performance that he turned in against Tigers hitters. He was sensational.
So we're just about ready for baseball here this afternoon. Jim Leland's squad coming in at 49 and 45, 1 game back of the Cleveland Indians, and trying to take advantage of home court here this afternoon on a spectacular day, if not very warm, in the Motor City. Juan Pierre settling into the batter's box, batting .275 through 90 games this year. It'll be Pierre, Ramirez, and Paul KONERKO against the right-hander Brad Penny.
Salary drive the last couple of weeks for Juan Pierre. He is a free agent after this year and was not performing all that well at the beginning of the year, but the last 16 games he's at 400.
Yeah, the drive going really well right now for Pierre, who looks at a ball to start this ball game, 1-0. Pierre has hit safely in his last 8 consecutive games. His average, because of that stretch you talked about, is really bumped up in the last couple of weeks. Here's the 1-0. Pierre looks at a strike. In fact, Juan's average has gone from .248 to .275 over his last 16 games. One ball, one strike on the Chicago leadoff man. Here is Penny's 1-1 pitch. That is bounced foul back toward the Chicago dugout. 1-2 on Juan Pierre.
Good to see Brad Penny mixing in some breaking balls here in the very first inning. There have been times this year where he would go out and try to establish his fastball the first couple of innings and get ambushed and not stay around as long as you'd like to see your starting pitcher on any given day.
And day, I guess, is the key word for Brad Penny, because as we've joked about over and over, it seems like he starts every single day game for Detroit.
He's made some comments about that. He says he likes pitching under the lights. He can't understand why his turn continues to fall under the sunlight.
Well, it's obviously most of the time, especially in the summer, much cooler at nighttime than it is during these hot day games.
I guess it'll make you get your sleep at night.
That's true. Got to get up early. The 1-2. And he missed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a good firm fastball. Really good fastball. 91. If you miss, you want to miss in off the plate. You don't want to miss over the heart of the plate. when the velocity is at 91 miles an hour.
Pierre sends a ground ball to second base. Here comes Carlos Guillen. And one gone.
Carlos Guillen kind of plays the second base position like he's playing shortstop. He likes to play a lot of balls to his left, a lot of plays to his right. He made a really nice play in yesterday's game where the ball took a little bit of a tricky hop on him, and he was able to field the ball with his bare hand. So he's done some nice job, nice work.
And we'll see if Carlos is able to stabilize that second base position, which I guess has kind of been a revolving door this year. You've had quite a few players go through there. Rhymes, Sizemore.
Well, if he's healthy, there's no question he can stabilize it.
Here is Alexi Ramirez. And he fouls one straight back.
And he appears to be healthy. He's on the field.
Ramirez batting .274 in the series, 2 hits, including a double. Alexi, for a while this year, spent some time in the 5 spot in Ozzie Guillen's lineup, but he's back in the 2 hole. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Usually you don't see a free swinger that's batting second. You like to see a guy that can set the table. He can bunt, move runners along, not afraid to take a strike to allow the leadoff hitter to steal a base. Ramirez is none of that, but he's a really good big league shortstop.
Hit hard at third base, right at Brandon Inge. And Ramirez is out.
Lots of ground balls when Brad Penny is on the mound. We made at that point earlier when we were talking about his pitching profile, especially against the White Sox.
Yeah, you touched on his numbers against Chicago this year, and they have been really good. In fact, his 2 starts against the White Sox this year are his only 2 in his career. And he's won both of them. Well, here is Paul Konerko now with 2 outs. They love to pitch to Konerko with nobody on base. He is 2 out of 7 in the series. He's walked 3 times. First pitch is low, 1-0. Konerko having yet another spectacular year. 22 homers, 68 RBIs. He's hitting over 300. In fact, he is 3rd in the league in runs driven in. Ball 2, 2-0 on Paul Konerko. Touched on this the other night, but the White Sox potentially have a really difficult middle of the lineup to navigate through if Dunn ever gets it going, with Quentin behind him. The 2-0 pitch. Hit toward third base. Another tough play for Brandon, who backhands it. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. 3 ground ball outs for Brad Penny. This game, Tigers starting lineup today presented by our good friends at Big Boy. Andy Dirks leads it off, followed by Brendan Bosch and then Maglio Ordonez. That's your starting outfield today. Cabrera, His batting cleanup, Victor DHing, Johnny Peralta at short, Guillen, Avila, and Inge are your bottom three this afternoon. Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Philip Umber. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Umber probably has been their most consistent pitcher all season long. He's got a really good fastball. He's got some really good command with it, not overpowering. He has a really nice, tight, sharp curveball. He's not afraid to pitch inside to the right-handers, and that's one of the reasons why he has absolutely dominated righties. They're only hitting 174 against Philip.
And here are Umber's numbers. This will be his 19th start here this afternoon.
I like that. Umber's numbers.
Just kind of rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it did.
Dirks will lead it off, then Bosch and Ordonez. And Andy getting a chance to play here every day with the injury to Austin Jackson. Dirks batting .256. A couple of hits in the series. Here's the 0-1. There's a strike called. 0-2 on Dirks. Umber goes 6'3", 210. He's 28 years old. Nacogdoches, Texas, where he was born. Now the 0-2. Wave and a miss. Down goes Dirks. Pierzynski will have to throw. That completes the strikeout.
Let's take a look at the White Sox defensively. It's always presented by Tim Hortons. It's Pierre, it's Rios, it's Quentin. It's the same way they've lined up all 3 days. As a matter of fact, they're running the same 9 out there the first 3 games of this series as Ozzie Guillen.
How about that? You know, I read a stat where they've rolled out 68 different lineups this year, but apparently Ozzie now is starting to zero in on the one he likes.
Pierzynski catching the day game after the night game. It was hot yesterday. It's even hotter today.
Bosch looks at strike one. 297 for Brennan Bosch. He is 0 for 9 in this series. And even with the 0 for 9, he's still batting .300 against Sox pitching this year. 0-2.
That breaking ball is wicked. He's already thrown a couple. He struck Dirks out with one, and then that was a wicked one right there as well to Brennan Bosch. It's a tight breaking ball. Stays on the fastball playing a long time and just drops right off the table.
Breaking ball hammered foul down the left field line.
He's got the kind of breaking ball that you can even go up there and sit on that pitch, and even if you get it, you might not hit it hard. It's got some nice depth to it.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Missed outside with it. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. So Bosch goes down, and pretty good start for Umber. That's a couple of strikeouts. Who really, Rod, has had a unconventional path, I guess, to get to the White Sox, considering he was a #1 pick.
Perseverance. And Phil has admitted himself he's just a lot more comfortable these days, not thinking a whole lot while on the mound, just kind of allowing his natural ability to take over, and obviously he has a lot of that.
This is popped up foul, and there may be a play. Nope. KONERKO got to the railing but couldn't catch it. 0-1. Well, it's really amazing the year that Umber has had this year when you consider he's been waived 2 times in the last year and had to deal with Tommy John surgery, but he has kind of found his groove in this rotation, and he really has solidified that rotation.
Well, he's the main reason why they have 6 members in their rotation right now.
Right.
They have a 6-man rotation because they can't take this kid out of the rotation. That's how good he's been. He should have made the All-Star team this year.
Agreed. His numbers certainly were deserving. That's whistled foul back out of play.
As I said earlier, he's not going to overpower you. Most fastballs will be anywhere from 89 to 93 miles an hour, but what he does that a lot of right-handers don't do is he pitches inside effectively. He's not afraid to go in there.
And he gets Ordonez swinging, and Philip Umber strikes out the side of the first.
Is it that easy, Philip?
Certainly so. And by Arby's, try the new Angus Cool Deli Sandwich. Only at Arby's, it's good mood food. Well, you're going to have to find a way to keep cool here this afternoon. Plenty of water and makeshift fans to try and keep the fans cool. On a very warm afternoon, 90 degrees at game time here at KONERKO.
Got to make sure you drink your fluids today.
And umbrellas are not only made for rain, that's for sure. So Brad Penny goes back to the hill, facing Adam Dunn, Carlos Quentin, and Alex Rios in the second.
That young man there holding that umbrella, trying to build up some points. He was holding for his bride.
You've got to. That's drilled to left center field, high and far, and it's up against the wall, and Dunn will lumber into second with a leadoff double.
He has started to wake up just a little bit. Has Adam Dunn. He has been swinging the bat a little bit better, but he had a long way to go. That's a fastball. It's up. It's away from Adam Dunn. That allows him to reach out, and you can see the barrel of the bat's kind of lagging in the strike zone, but it got through there in a hurry, and no one able to run it down.
Leadoff two-base hit. White Sox have their first scoring opportunity, and that'll bring up Carlos Quentin, who's had another big series against Tigers pitching. Quentin 6 for 9.
I mean, Carlos Quentin in this situation with a runner on second, nobody out, not necessarily trying to move Adam Dunn to third base. He'll be trying to drive him in.
Ball one.
And if you look at his spray chart, right field is somewhat foreign to Carlos Quentin. As a matter of fact, they have about 3 right-handed power hitters, Alexi and KONERKO, along with Quentin, that are dead pull hitters. Oh, he pulled that too.
And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. 6 for 14 against Brad Penny, including a home run. Quentin homered in the ball game yesterday off Max Scherzer.
He had quite a few hits on Friday as well.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's outside, 2-1.
This is also a situation with Dunn being on second base. If you're Guillen and you're also Cabrera, if Quentin does hit something directly at you, you might have a chance to go to third base to get him if he's just casually trying to take that base. We've seen it done.
The 2-1 outside, 3 balls, 1 strike on Carlos Quentin. By the way, nice job of the national show yesterday.
Thank you. It was different, but it was enjoyable.
Had the Negro League uniforms going yesterday?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Edwin Jackson was pitching like a young Satchel Paige too.
101 pitches for that complete game. That's pretty impressive.
18 ground ball outs. He touched 98. He threw most of his sliders at 90 miles an hour.
That's low. That's a walk. And now the White Sox have 2 men on.
There's Eddie. Eddie's a free agent after this year too. And if he continues to pitch like he pitched yesterday, yeah, he's going to get a couple extra nickels in that piggy bank.
I think the White Sox might move the pitcher even though they're in the race.
Be tough to move somebody who pitched like he pitched yesterday.
That is true. Runners in scoring position in this series. The Tigers 0 for 9.
They haven't had many runners on base compared to the White Sox. The offense has been slowed down. Really, the offense was slowed down on that 7-game road trip right before the break.
It was. It started in Anaheim. They couldn't muster a whole lot against Dan Herron. Pinheiro pitched well. Early visit to the mound now for Alex Avila. No score, although the White Sox are threatening here in the second with a double from Adam Dunn and a walk to Carlos Quentin. Ozzie Guillen has his team 2 under the 500 mark at 46 and 48.
They were very aggressive on the base paths yesterday too. They stole 4 bases yesterday.
Driven high in the air to left. That ball is hooking and going foul.
If you're Greg Walker and you're the hitting coach, that's a welcome sight for you. Even though that's a foul ball, just the fact that Rios got it out in front of a 1-0 fastball and drilled it that far.
Well, it's been a really, really rough season for Rios despite his numbers against Penny. Alex came in at 207.
Well, a good 2-seam fastball at the bottom of the strike zone will get a double play here and help him get and partially out of this inning.
Here's the 1-1. Driven toward left field. That ball is going to get down. Base hit, maybe more. It's going to go to the warning track. It'll get a run in. Dunn comes around to score. Quentin is stopped at third. It's a double and an RBI for Alex Rios.
Brad Penny is missing his spots here in this inning, and they've made him pay for that. Dunn made him pay. Fastball up. He doubled the opposite way. He walked Carlos Quentin, and then he makes a mistake here. Avila wants the ball down and away, and this ball stays up and leaks in and right into the happy zone of Rios, and drills it.
It snapped an 0 for 10 for Rios. RBI double to make it 1-0 White Sox. And still nobody out.
The guys that really came into this series struggling, Quentin, Rios, Dunn, they've kind of gotten loose in the 3 days here. All of them have done something positive.
Now Pierzynski, who is hitless in the series, 0 for 7. Coming into this series, the Tigers had won 5 of 6 from Chicago in the season series, but Chicago has taken the first 2 games. And the recent dominance the Tigers have had over the White Sox has come to a screeching halt. Now the 0-1. Slap foul, 0-2 on A.J. Pierzynski.
The White Sox confidence level was boosted greatly when they were able to beat Justin Verlander on Friday.
Tigers outscoring the White Sox. Much better average with men in scoring position in the last 14 meetings. But again, Chicago has kind of evened it up with a couple of wins the last 2 days. Pierzynski is a tough guy to strike out. In fact, one of the toughest, if not the toughest, in the American League. One every 17 at bats.
He's also a really good situational player. And what he is trying to do, he's trying to hit a ground ball to second base. And that would score the second run. That would also get Rios over to third base. He can handle the bat pretty well.
In the air to center field, sending Dirks back. This will get a run in. Quentin tags at third. He'll score. Throw coming back into the cutoff man, and both runners move up.
That is a tremendous at bat. Actually, it's not even an at bat. It's a sacrifice fly. But he'll get lots of high fives. He got the run in, and he got the runner over.
And he was behind 0-2 in the count. So for Pierzynski, his 30th RBI of the year. And Chicago out to the 2-0 lead. Tigers now bringing the infield in.
White Sox took batting practice on the field this afternoon, even though it's really hot today. Tigers elected to hit inside in the cages.
Beckham hits a base hit to left against the drawn in infield. That'll score Rios, and it's now 3-0 Chicago. So the first 3 reach and all 3 score.
Jonesy already on the phone. Infield in. Gordon Beckham also starting to heat up last couple of weeks, but he's been a really good second half player since coming to the big leagues. We talked about it on Friday. This White Sox team is a scary bunch.
Still only 1 out. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Mark TEAHEN. TEAHEN's been pretty good in the series, 3 for 7 with a double. And really, the White Sox haven't gotten a whole lot of production out of either of their third baseman, Brent Morrell, who has not had the greatest of years offensively. TEAHEN batting just .190 since May 1st. Former Kansas City Royal. Three runs on 3 hits in this inning here after Penny got him 1, 2, 3 on just 11 pitches in the first inning. High fly ball center field. Dirks on the run. He'll get there for the out. And the runner retreats. 2 gone. And now back up to the top of the lineup, Juan Pierre.
And we might see a pitch out here, first or second pitch given by Jim Leland to Avila. And and possibly help Avila out if Beckham is going to try to steal second base.
Saw Adam Wilk beginning to tune up in the Detroit bullpen. They got him up early in this game.
Told you that the White Sox stole 4 bases in yesterday's game. Avila made a couple of them close, although the base runners had really good jumps.
Broken bat, base hit right field. Beckham rounding the bag. He's going to third, and he'll get in there easily. And Juan Pierre has another hit in the series. That's his 6th. So this is turning into quite an inning for the White Sox.
And Gordon Beckham knew he could get to third base. Didn't really need the help of Jeff Cox, his third base coach.
2-out chance now for Alexi Ramirez. 3 runs on 4 hits for Chicago here in the second.
This isn't funny anymore.
I would agree with that statement. Let's get this guy out and get back into the dugout. Ball 1 to Ramirez. Alexi bounced out his first time up. A tale of 2 innings for Brad Penny. An easy first, but a 3-run second. High fly ball, center field, should get him out of the inning. Dirks is there to finally end the frame. They send 8 men to the plate, scored 3 times. As we go to the bottom of the second, and by the way, this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. It'll be Cabrera, Martinez, Peralta here in the second, facing right-hander Philip Humber, who retired the side in order back in the first. He struck out Dirks, Bosch, and Ordonez and needed 12 pitches to do it. 11 of those strikes. Cabrera looks at ball 1 inside. Miguel batting .315, 3 for 6 in this series so far. Here's the 1-0. Miguel had the home run in the first game of the series. In fact, it provided the Tigers their only runs. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike on the outer edge, 2-1. .393 this season against Chicago pitching with 3 long balls. He pulls that one on the ground deep in the hole. Ramirez has time. He throws him out by a step.
Let's take a look at our Bale Tire pitch by pitch. I told you the fact that Umber is not afraid to pitch inside, and that's one of the reasons why he holds right-handed batters to a 174 batting average. He went up and in, then he went down and away, and then he did exactly as Edwin Jackson did yesterday. In several 2-1 counts, Przinsky would call for a breaking ball, and it was executed in lots of ground balls for Jackson yesterday himself.
Here is Victor Martinez batting .315.
That was just a really impressive pitch sequence. 2 fastballs up and in, 1 down and away, and then a slow breaking ball after you're thinking about the fastball.
Well, Umber has had an impressive first half. Really, his last start against Minnesota, one of the few bumpy starts he's had. He gave up 6 runs. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Victor. Ball high, 2-1 on Martinez. Pulled on the ground at first. Hard hit, but right at KONERKO. And there are 2 gone.
Phillip had an outstanding outing this year. It was against the Yankees, and he one-hit them April 25th. Spotting that fastball, real tight, sharp breaking ball, changing eye levels. He's got some really nice pitchability. That was the only knock of the game.
7 innings, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts in that contest. He threw 100 pitches against that vaunted Yankees lineup. Pretty impressive on the road as well. 2 outs for Johnny Peralta. One ball, 1 strike. Peralta, 2 out of 8 in the series. His best stretch of the first half was in the month of June when he had a 12-game hitting streak. Waves and misses 1 and 2. Soft line drive to right center. Base hit. Right off the end of the bat. Little volley out there to right center for Peralta. And the Tigers have their first hit of the game today. It's going to bring up Carlos Guillen. Carlos in his return yesterday, 1 for 4. He had not played in a big league game since August 16th of last year in New York against the Yankees.
He was flawless at second base. Several plays made yesterday by Guillen. I believe 8 ground balls he fielded yesterday.
Popped up foul back out of play.
It's a good fastball hitter. He likes the fastballs down and in, and when he does get that pitch, he can whistle that ball down in the right field corner, and on occasion he'll find the seats in right. Much more power from the right side, left side, than he does the right side.
A portion of his rehab was down in Toledo, where he played 11 games, hit .316. And do you think he's to the point, I guess is a better question for Carlos, where he's not really thinking about the knee anymore? Or is that always going to be in the back of your mind?
It might be in the back of the mind, but I think he's healthy. He's moving pretty good. So after playing 16 games in the minors, I think they got a pretty good indication that he was ready to come back. He looks like he's in good shape, too.
Sure does.
Looks like he's lost about 10, 15 pounds.
That the 0-2. And a breaking ball that Umber thought he had strike 3 with. 1 and 2. Maybe a tad high, if that. Here's the 1-2. Same pitch. This time he strikes him out with it. And that is that for Detroit. 4 strikeouts for Phillip Umber. trying to shake off a 3-run second. As we go to the top of the third, it'll be Paul Konerko to lead it off. Konerko is the only batter that did not hit in that 3-run second. Konerko, Dunn, and Quentin here in the top of number 3. Konerko bounced out back in that 1-2-3 first inning that Brad put up. And a breaking ball drops in for strike 1 on Paul Konerko, who has been described as one of the most analytical hitters in the game. And some of his teammates, Adam Dunn, has said, you know, I've played with some great hitters, and I've seen a lot of great hitters in the National League, but Konerko's right up there with most of them. The 0-1. That slice foul back out of play. And they've talked about, even Greg Walker's talked about how he makes adjustments from pitch to pitch with his hands and is constantly thinking in the box, which I guess for some guys is good, maybe not so good for other guys.
The numbers kind of back that up too. And he has been one of the more productive White Sox players in their history.
Drilled toward left center. There's another base hit for Chicago.
He's a good breaking ball hitter, and the only way that you become a really good breaking ball hitter in the major leagues is if you just absolutely punish fastballs, and that's what Konerko has made a living doing, punishing fastballs. And he gets a hanger here from Brad, stays back nicely, doesn't try to do too much with it, and he's able to find the seam in the outfield for a solid base hit.
And that is 5 hits now for the Chicago offense in this game.
Brad Penny is really missing his locations here today quite often.
Adam Dunn had an opposite field double to start things off in the second. He eventually came around to score their first run. 2 out of 9 now in this 3-game set versus Detroit. Check swing roller toward third. Inge on the charge, trying to get the out at second. He does, throwing across his body. So 1 on, 1 out. Time for a game break. We go back to the studio. Here's Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thank you. Here it is 3-0 in favor of Chicago. Carlos Quentin coming up. He walked and scored in the second. And Penny misses high, 1-0. Quentin's home run yesterday broke a homer drought. He had gone 91 at bats without a home run. He's hit 18 this year. And he takes a strike, 1-1.
That home run came in a 3-1 count. And Max tried to sneak a fastball by Quentin at 93 miles an hour inside, and he pulled his hands inside and drilled it into the Tigers bullpen. It was a frozen rope. He has had a really nice series here. He took some singles in the opening contest, but as I told you yesterday, he played long ball against Max. 3-1 fastball inside. He pulled his hands in, and he absolutely drilled it, but he wasn't done there. He continued his onslaught against Tigers pitching, and really has done that in his career.
Lazy fly ball into shallow center as Dirks comes in, and they'll get Quentin that time. 2 gone.
Better pitch by Brad at the bottom of the strike zone, and you can get a good hitter fooled and out in front. Much better location.
That leaves it up to Alex Rios, who doubled one in back in the second. Rios at 209 this year. No balls and 1 strike on the former Toronto Blue Jay. And he pulls this one on the ground into left. A base hit. That's his 2nd hit of the game. And the Sox now have 6 hits. That'll bring up Pierzynski. AJ with a sac fly back in the 2nd, driving in a run. The White Sox got all 3 of their runs in the 2nd. Chicago right now marching through a stretch of 19 straight against the Central Division. So far they are 4-5 in that stretch. Ball 1. A division that is becoming much more bunched up as the days go on. Minnesota, who was once buried in the Central, now 6 back. Chicago 4 back. Tigers 1 back. Wave and a miss. 1-1.
Should make for a very interesting summer.
That it will in each and every one of those cities, maybe with the exception of Kansas City. Royals 12 out. Cleveland continues to hang in there after building an early lead in the Central. They went through a dry stretch. High pop up. Shallow left field. The shortstop Peralta going back. And that will end the inning. No runs. 1 hit. Make it 2 hits. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by AT&T and by Fresh Express. Prepare to never eat a morning salad again. Back here in the Motor City as we welcome you back to downtown Detroit. The Tigers down by a 3 spot on a warm, sunny afternoon here at Comerica, where water is important. So is an umbrella. They keep you in the shade. And colorful umbrellas at that. Here come the Tigers. It'll be Avila to lead things off. Then Brandon Inge and Andy Dirks against Philip Umber, who has had little trouble so far in this game. Alex swings in the first and drives it to right center. Base hit. 2nd hit of the game for Detroit.
Last couple of days, Alex had a chance to play in front of his grandfather here at Comerica Park, Ralph. As a matter of fact, his grandfather, Ralph, saw him play in the big leagues for the very first time in the All-Star game just a few days ago in Arizona. Talked to Ralph for a little bit yesterday. Nice man.
Did you?
I think he's gone back home now.
Has he?
Yeah.
Here's Brandon Inge. I would imagine that Alex had to make sure that did not become an overwhelming experience at the All-Star game. Your first All-Star game being...
Check that. Ralph's still here. Still hanging with his son and his grandson.
That is fouled back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike on Brandon Inge.
Must be an all-boys trip because I haven't seen Al, Avila's wife, and I haven't seen Ralph's wife. So the boys are hanging out. Scott Reed also up there, one of David's right-hand men. Down there sitting next to Al Avila. Mike Smith.
Here's the 1-1. Try to check it. And he did, apparently, says first base umpire Gary Darling. 2 balls and 1 strike. Inge 0 for 1 in the series. Trying to snap an 0 for 17 skid. The 2-1 pitch is inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Tigers trying to build a little bit of a rally here. They get a leadoff single in the 3rd by Avila. With Dirks waiting on deck. And the 3-1. 3-2 on Brandon.
When you're going good and you get that 3-1 fastball at 91 miles an hour, you drill it somewhere. But Brandon just hasn't been able to get on track at all this year. And that fastball right down the middle, he fouled it straight back. Don't think Avila's running here. 3-2.
Swing and a miss. Inge goes down swinging.
And that's why.
And that's another strikeout for Umber. That is his 5th. His season high is also his career high, and that's 7. So he's just 2 away. And we're only in the 3rd frame. There's Andy Dirks now, who was a strikeout victim back in the 1st. Cleveland hoping the offense gets clicking here sometime soon. Ball 1 to Dirks. Umber has spent parts of 5 big league seasons with the Mets and Minnesota and Kansas City prior to his stop here in Chicago, but clearly this year has been his best year in the big leagues. A near all-star type season, at least for the first half. The roll foul.
I guess you can call him a late bloomer. And some guys just figure it out a little bit later than others. A couple different waiver claims. Pitching in the minor leagues after being a #1 draft choice. Good pitching coach in Don Cooper. The light apparently has come on for Umber.
Line drive caught. Throw to first is a double play.
Nifty footwork by Paulie at first base.
No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. 3 in the books. They get a line double play to end the inning. Tigers had a runner on, but a double play into the inning.
Nifty footwork by KONERKO at first base, and that's why you have to anticipate sometimes bad throws. He's able to keep that right big toe on the base, although it was not a very good throw by the second baseman Beckham, and they were able to complete the double play. It's also something that I talk about quite often regarding the base runner. In that situation, less than 2 outs, anything on the line, you have to get back to that base that you are at. You can't take a step or two to that next base, or you'll get doubled off.
So Brad Penny goes back to work here in the 4th, and he will face the bottom of the lineup for Chicago. It'll be Gordon Beckham, Mark TEAHEN, and Juan Pierre. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon on a bright sunny day here in downtown Detroit. Final game in this series. For the Tigers have, yes, an off day tomorrow. Kind of strange. They just finished the All-Star break, but they will not play tomorrow. And then the Athletics are coming to town for a pair. Beckham had a single to drive in a run in the 4th. Beckham now sits safely in 8 straight, and he really has come on offensively. He's been extremely sound defensively all year, but the bat is catching up now. He is 5 for 9 in this series.
And the million-dollar question for the hitting coach Greg Walker is, how can he get Beckham going in the first half?
It's looped in the air to shallow right. That'll drop in, base hit. Well, Beckham has always had those good second halves. So he is on to start things off. Here's the AT&T trivia question today. Who are the only 2 White Sox to win Rookie of the Year honors in the decade of the 80s? There were 2 of them that won Rookie of the Year awards in the 80s. And your mission is to name them.
I've got one.
One's easy, one not so much.
It's not easy?
Well, no.
I got them both.
Okay. Check that. Maybe it is easy. Grounded to first. This might be 2, and it is 3-6-3.
It's a nice feed by the big fella to Peralta. Hit him right in the chest. When you're playing first base, first and foremost, you have to make sure that you give the shortstop a good feed, and then you worry about getting back to the bag. And that's exactly what Miggy did there. Good angle, throwing inside the bag. Picture perfect.
Meanwhile, yet another ground ball for Brad Penny. This one resulting in a double play. Here's Pierre. Single and 2 at bats for Pierre. 9-game hitting streak now for their leadoff man. 4 hits in yesterday's ball game. That slapped foul back out of play. 1-1. Pierre last year stole 68 bases. He has 15 right now. So he is way off that pace of last year. Average starting to come up. The 1-1. Wasn't too long ago, Pierre was in the 240 range. And his average now at 277. Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball to short. Peralta is there. And Pierre is out, inning over. Another ground ball out for Brad Penny. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Here comes the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Comerica Park. And what's going on down on the farm? Dwayne Belo is having himself a pretty good stretch right now in his last 8 starts, a 5-1 record. Here's the name you're going to hear more of, Francisco Martinez, a third baseman that right now is at Erie.
He's lights out. Last 57 games, 320, 18 extra base hits.
Gustavo Nunez down at Lakeland hitting .304 with 14 steals. Some of the highlights of what's going on down on the farm, as Brennan Bosch, once a product of that farm system, I guess he still is a product of that system, leading things off in the bottom of the 4th.
Umber carved him up pretty good first time up. Several breaking balls at the bottom of the zone. Didn't climb the ladder with an elevated fastball to get the strikeout of Brennan back in the 1st.
Bosch, Ordonez, Cabrera. Tigers trying to get something going here. They've managed only 2 hits so far. They have lined into a double play. Umber has struck out 5 already in this game. We'll get back out of play. 1-2 on Brennan. Now 0 for 10 in the series. Maglio waiting on deck. Rolled foul. Umber was one of those guys, and obviously it's a first-round pick. A lot of good things are projected for you, but he pitched at Rice University, which has been a powerhouse in baseball over the years. And he was part of a staff that had 3 first-round picks, a rotation that featured Jeff Neiman and Wade Townsend. And Umber, that was back in 2004. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2.
The only one that's really had any success of the 3 really has been Neiman, correct?
Agreed. Yep. Well, I guess Umber this year.
Well, yeah.
Coming into the season, yep. And he was also part of that national championship team in 03 for Rice. High fly ball, right field, hit well. This one is going to go. It's out of there, a home run. Brennan Bosch gets his first hit of the second half, and it's a long one.
Too many breaking balls from Philip Umber to Brennan Bosch. It's his 13th home run of the year. It's a breaking ball. It's not a bad pitch. But Brennan, he goes down and he gets it, and he's got plenty enough strength to hit it on the line out to right field. It's a good swing by Brennan. Quentin running out of room.
That, by the way, ends a streak of 17 innings without scoring a run since the 4th inning of Friday night's game for the Tigers offense.
That was a home run as well by Miguel.
That's driven to left field. It'll go to the wall. Maglio has extra bases. He's on his way to second, and he's in with a double.
Well, a nice adjustment being made here by the Tigers in the 4th inning. Umber has been breaking ball happy, and they've gone up there and they've gotten a couple of breaking balls. One a home run by Brennan, and a double drilled to left field by Maglio, also on a breaking ball.
Back-to-back extra base hits here in the 4th. The Tigers now have 4 hits for the game. And they are one swing of the bat away from Cabrera to tying this game up. Miguel bounced out his first time. Ball 1 inside. Cabrera back on Friday picked up his 1500th hit. That was off Gavin Floyd. There's a strike called by Rob Drake. 1-1.
Cabby sitting on that breaking ball too. Doesn't usually take fastballs, and I can tell that he's sitting on a breaking ball. If Umber throws it and makes a mistake with it, Cabrera will absolutely drill it.
Ground ball hit to short.
He got it.
And Ramirez throws him out.
And he didn't drill it.
I thought it was there, though.
No, he got the pitch he was looking for. There's no doubt about that. He just got out in front of it. And it was up in the strike zone, too.
Wasn't it, though?
He knows it. Cabby knows it.
First out of the inning. That'll bring up Victor Martinez. So Cabrera 0 for 2 in this game with a couple of ground balls to Alexi Ramirez. Victor is 0 for 1, hit a hard ground ball right at KONERKO in the second. And barely got out of the box and he was out. That's how hard he hit the ball. One ball to no strikes on Victor Martinez, who came in batting .315, which was good for 6th in the American League. And really from the month of May and beyond, he has been in the top 10 and hitting most of this season. Ball inside, 2-0. Got himself ahead here. 2 balls, no strikes. And there's a strike call. 2-1. Johnny Peralta will be next. The White Sox lead is now 3-1. High fly ball, right field. Quentin is circling. And the runner will hold. There are 2 gone. So Ordonez still planted at second base. That's going to bring up Johnny Peralta. Brendan Bosch's home run putting the Tigers on the board here in the 4th. A home run, by the way, that went 391 feet, the estimated distance. And for Brendan, his 13th of the year. Shattered bat rolled foul. Peralta hit with that one right off the end.
Hey fans, 15-game ticket packages for the remainder of the season are on sale now for as little as $210. Purchase now and receive a complimentary deluxe overnight stay at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Restrictions apply. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com.
0-1 on Peralta. Johnny had a single. In fact, it was the first Tiger hit of the game back in the second. Breaking ball is in to make it 0-2. Umber in his last 7 road starts is 5-0, and his ERA is just a tick over 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a breaking ball. Peralta is down, and that's 6 strikeouts for Umber. The two White Sox to win Rookie of the Year in the decade of the 80s. There were two of them. One of them obviously is in the park today. That would be Ozzie Guillen. Ron Kittle was the other. And of course we remember Ron Kittle for making one big out in Tigers history. And that would be, well, Rod, you were there.
Yep. First weekend of the season. It was a Saturday afternoon game. Game of the week against Chicago White Sox in Chicago, Comiskey Park. Jack Morris with a no-hitter.
He struck out Ron Kittle to end the game. The celebration ensued.
Looked like he was trying to pick up Big Wheel.
Yeah, good luck on that.
I got in there on the celebration.
Did you?
Got pushed around a little bit.
Good for you.
Here I am right here.
Nice. I guess I never looked for you in that highlight.
Yeah,
before.
Barbaro Garbe had his hand on my shirt trying to get a congratulatory hug to Jack Morris.
Trying to push you out of the way, in other words?
Couldn't get to him. Big Wheel Parrish had him bear hug.
Here's Alexi Ramirez to lead it off in the 5th inning. It's 3-1 in favor of Chicago. Ramirez, Konerko, and Dunn in the Chicago 5th. Just one rocky inning today for Brad Penny. Gave up the 3 in the 2nd, helped out by a double play in the 4th. Here's the 1-1 offering. Bouncing ball slowly up the middle. Peralta can't handle it. Leadoff man is on.
We haven't seen that very often this year out of Peralta. He has been about as steady at that position as any shortstop in the American League. The ball just kind of crawls up the arm, and he'll probably be given an error on that play.
No call yet, but I would imagine that will be the call. So the leadoff man is on now for Konerko.
It'll be his 5th, I believe.
Single and 2 at bats for Konerko. It is an error indeed on Peralta. First of the game for either side. You know, the Chicago team came in with the fewest errors in the American League, 44, which is, I guess, kind of surprising. You don't really consider or think of Chicago as one of the top defensive teams, but they are this year.
Yeah, they've got a shortstop that's made 11 errors. Their second baseman, Beckham's, only made 1. But 11 errors is quite a few for shortstop.
A .988 fielding percentage for Chicago defensively. We'll see if that error by Peralta hurts. One ball, one strike on Konerko. High fly ball right field. Ordonez, one gone. Well, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Angus Third Pounder. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space in the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. You'll see the following results post-game during Tigers Live. Bosch has to be on that list right now with his home run. The only Tigers run so far. Adam Dunn with a double in his first at bat. He scored a run. Also reached on a fielder's choices last time up.
I was down there in the dugout on Friday standing next to him. He is a huge man. Huge.
Very, very large human being who obviously was a quarterback in his amateur days. Out of Houston, Texas.
Yeah, they love their high school football in Texas.
Not only a quarterback, but an option quarterback. Can you imagine this guy running the option?
I'm getting out of his way if I'm playing defensive end. I'm just getting out of his way.
Well, he's had to endure what has been the most, I would imagine, frustrating season of his career. Signing the contract to come to Chicago, came in with a 159 batting average.
They say he has handled it well. I really don't know what that means, but his teammates, and they say it really hasn't worn on him that much.
Well, what's been the biggest difference, do you think, for him? Is it DHing? Is it new league?
Whew, it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say. I would think the making the transition from an everyday player to being a designated hitter just hasn't gone all that well for him, and the fact that he got off to a decent start, but then he had the appendectomy surgery after about 2 weeks into the season. He never has gotten on track since then.
This might be a double play. Guillen with a backhanded flip, and there's two. 4-6-3 with a little bit of flair from Carlos Guillen thrown in. There's the 4, there's the 6, there's the 3. A little mustard maybe too. Inning, Carlos Guillen will lead things off, still coming back from that knee surgery that he had in the offseason. And Carlos says that his knees are finally getting to the point where they feel good every day.
To me, that was the hardest part, because sometimes you feel good, one week you feel good, and next day you can't even walk. So it was tough. Right now, I've been feeling good every day. I don't put too much attention on my knee now.
Yeah, it's good to be able to come to the ballpark and not have to worry about the knees and concentrate on the things that you have to.
Well, we watched Carlos quite a bit last year.
He lifts this one in the air to center.
And we can see him walking around sometimes, and he couldn't get up the steps. I mean, he was in pain.
And hopefully those days are behind him.
This much I do know. He looks like he's in great shape. He's dropped a few pounds. And that should relieve some of the pressure off the knees anyway.
Carlos 0 for 2 in this game. That'll bring up Alex Avila. Avila today with a single. That happened back in the third. He was eventually doubled up on a line drive double play. Meanwhile, the only blemish on Umber's resume today is the home run that he allowed to Brennan Bosch back in the fourth. A leadoff solo shot. Ball one outside to Avila. 1-1. 4 Tigers hits this afternoon. Peralta has a single. Avila has a single. And the homer by Bosch, double by Ordonez. Breaking ball away. 2-1. 3-1 the count.
And good hitters count here for Avila. And he'll be looking for the fastball, and if he does get that fastball, he'll be looking to pull it to right field. Maybe even hit it out of here. Popped it up
into left field where Juan Pierre is stationed, barely moving. 2 gone.
Hey fans, the Tigers battle the Oakland A's this Tuesday and Wednesday here at KONERKO Park. Both games are starting at 7:05. Tickets are available now at 866-66-TIGER or online at tigers.com. The Oakland A's have a new manager these days. It's Bob Melvin. Their interim manager, Bob Guerin, was let go a few weeks ago.
Ball 1 to Brandon Inge. That A's team is kind of interesting because of the pitching they have. You feel that they might be able to kind of hang around, but offensively they're going to have to get a whole lot better.
Texas, and for me, is the best team in that division. The Angels are good, but the Rangers, I think they have the deepest team. If they stay healthy, they're probably going to win that division again.
I agree. Oakland already is kind of built a big hole to dig out of it. 13 out, or were coming in today. But Texas has ripped off 10 straight wins. This should find the seeds. Pierzynski runs out of room.
And Texas is pitching. They're completing games. Nolan Ryan, a lot of people thought he was crazy a couple years ago when he said our pitchers, they're going to start going a little bit deeper in games. We're going to start it in the minor leagues, and we're going to see how it works. They've been getting some length out of their starters, which means their bullpen stays fresh. And it has to stay fresh in that heat.
13 over 500. Swing and a miss. Inge goes down and his frustrations continue. 1-2-3 inning. You're watching Tigers baseball. Presented today by Belt Tire. Winning streak for the Texas Rangers. They are on a roll in the West. Meanwhile, over in the National League, the Reds sliding a bit. They're 2 under 500. And did you hear the story about Joe Girardi being a little bit annoyed with the Blue Jays?
What, does he think they're stealing some signs or something?
He does indeed.
Really?
Yeah, and he's made an issue out of it.
Really? Usually you don't accuse someone of stealing signs unless you have some proof.
And apparently they do. And that has annoyed the New York skipper. Penny back to work in a 3-1 ball game here. We go to the 6th inning, and it'll be Carlos Quentin leading it off. Quentin and then Rios and then Pierzynski.
Toronto is 2 games under 500 at home, so apparently it ain't helping them a whole lot in the win column.
Apparently not. Here's the 1-0 pitch coming to Quentin. Ground ball third base side. Brandon stays with it nicely on the backhand. He has certainly brought his glove to the office today.
Penny has touched 95 here today and has gone 20 miles per hour below that. And with a changeup, could be a splitter. And those readings are always courtesy of Comcast.
A lot of ground ball outs.
Yep, he does that against the White Sox for whatever reason. Lots of ground ball outs against them.
Well, Rios trying to bust out of a season-long slump is 2 for 2, single double, and an RBI. Average at 211. And he shoots this one foul and back into the seats.
I was reading an article regarding Rios today in the Chicago newspaper, and Rios has admitted he's lost. He says, I just can't find it. He says, I'm trying to move my hands around. I'm trying to stand up a little taller. I mean, he just cannot find it whatsoever. And that's taller for him.
The 1-1. Well, I also read a little while back, this was in the month of June, where Ozzie Guillen benched him for not hustling on the bases.
Well, that's what you do when guys don't hustle up here.
It's been one of those frustrating years for Rios. There's the 2-1 offering. Ground ball foul, third base side.
I do know they hope that he wakes up and starts to produce a little bit better, because he's got some length on his contract, and it's a big contract.
Well, and it raised some eyebrows a couple of years ago in August of '09 when they claimed off the waiver wire from the Blue Jays, which got the Blue Jays out from under that massive deal that he signed.
Do you remember the situation? Was he trying to block him from going somewhere else?
I think that was part of the deal. I would have to go back and research that, but I seem to remember that they were just trying to make sure somebody else didn't get him.
And J.P. Ricciardi, who was the general manager in Toronto at that time, was trying to get rid of some payroll, and when Kenny Williams claimed him, they just said, oh, here you go. Take this contract with you.
Yeah, have at it. That was in August of 2009. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Penny strikes him out. 2 gone. Well, we have a moment. Back to the studio we go. Here's Trevor. All right, Trev, thank you. That's 15 home runs now for Santana.
He's starting to heat up.
As they expected he would. Still a very young player. Roll to third. Behind the bag, Brandon has it. And Kurzinski is out. 1-2-3 inning for Brad Penny as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
It's time for the Coors Light freeze cam. The only run the Tigers have accounted for today. It came on a breaking ball the last time Brennan Bosch was up. It was at the bottom of the strike zone. He caught it and drilled it to right. Coors Light freeze cam, always brought to you by your Frost Brew Coors Light.
And the only run for the Tigers, one of 4 hits that they have in this game. Philip Humber has been really good in this one. In fact, Humber has 7 strikeouts, which ties his season and career high.
He's had a really good breaking ball today. But somehow, some way, the Tigers need to figure out a way to get to Humber here. And they can't afford to be swept here.
Dirks, Bosch, and Ordonez in the bottom of the 6th. Tigers have been out hit 7-4. They trail 3-1. Dirks is 0 for 2. And he shoots one toward the shortstop off the glove of Alexi Ramirez into center. He's going to try for 2. And Dirks is in there standing up. Running hard all the way.
Talked about the fact that Alexi has had quite a few miscues at the shortstop position this year. This one trickles right off the glove. Andy Dirks is hustling down the line. Never takes his eye off the ball. He sees it trickle into shallow center field. Never broke stride, able to get there standing up.
That's a double.
Oh, Jay.
Figured that would be your reaction. Here comes Bosch. Homered back in the 4th, his 13th. Tigers now have 5 hits. Although the White Sox got 3 early, the Tigers have remained within striking distance. That's fouled back out of play.
That's something that Humber has been clever today with his fastball. He's just kind of thrown most of them up in the strike zone. Not a lot of fastballs down in very hittable places. The breaking ball's been at the bottom of the strike zone. But the Tigers have to somehow capitalize on that mistake by their shortstop Ramirez, even though it was scored a double.
Well, the Tigers in this series 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Time to change that right here. The 1-1. One and 2 the count. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bosch. Humber now is going to have to navigate through the middle of the Tigers lineup. You've got Ordonez, then it would be Cabrera, then Martinez lurking. Ramirez sneaking in behind Dirks, but no throw. And he has let it off with a double off the glove of Alexi Ramirez. Missed it inside and low. 3-2 the count on Bosch.
And Brennan has to stay on his fastball here, even though he's gotten quite a few breaking balls today from Humber. 3-2 count. You have to sit on your fastball and make any adjustments to the off-speed pitches. And you can't try to do too much. Just simply try to put it in play.
Swing and a miss. Humber now has 8 strikeouts, which is a career high.
Good fastball to hit. 92 firm right down the middle.
It'll bring up MIGUEL. The second time Bosch has fanned today to go with his home run. Ordonez had a double in his last at bat. Ball 1 to Ordonez. Magliosin's coming off the disabled list, batting a solid .280. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Now 3-0. The numbers indicate that Umber has his ERA skyrocket from the 7th inning on. Innings 1 through 6, the ERA is really good, but from the 7th inning on, it just jumps up to over 8. Maybe the Tigers can get to him an inning earlier here today. And the 3-0. He's taking outside, ball 4.
When the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live as we bring you all the highlights, reaction, and analysis. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit. It's a hot one down here today.
90 at game time.
And it just got a little hotter for Umber. And one of the best hitters in this league with runners in scoring position is standing in the batter's box.
Miguel Cabrera has the tying runs on here in a 3-1 ball game. .388 this year with men in scoring position. Fouled back out of play, 0-1. Cabrera 3 for 8 in the series. Action in their bullpen. Chris Sale starting to warm up.
Sale still saving that meal money.
Yes, he is. As slender as ever. Ball inside, 1-1.
Their bullpen's in good shape. They've got Sale, they've got Santos, they've got Thornton.
They have 4 left-handers down there. And their pen over the last 16 games has an ERA of 0.69, so they've been in good shape down there. And he missed again, 2-1.
It's a fastball count, but a hitter like Cabrera, if he wanted to do so, he could sit on a breaking ball. And if he happens to throw a fastball, just don't swing at it. There are very few pitchers that do throw Cabrera fastballs in this situation.
On the outside corner, strike 2-2 at 92 miles an hour.
Yep. Cabby didn't like the location. Fox Track says that it got some of the plate.
Fouled away. Again, a fastball from Umber. And Cabrera spoils it.
It becomes a game within a game if you're Przinsky and you're trying to outthink Cabrera. And because Przinsky's pretty good at watching the hitters and watching their swings. He can tell when guys are sitting on particular pitches. But now he has to get his pitcher to execute the fingers that he's putting down.
They're running full now at 3-2. Cabrera still having a conversation with the home plate umpire, Ron Trace.
Well, decision time now for Leland.
Well, let's see if he starts him.
You got the 3-2 count. You've got 1 out. I'm going to say so. Cabby doesn't strike out all that much, even though Umber has struck out quite a few here today.
Runners go. Ground ball hit to short. That'll keep him out of a double play.
That's the reason why you start him.
And Cabrera's hit 3 ground balls to the shortstop.
Well, he's rolled over quite often, but Umber, for the most part, in this particular AB, he is working him exclusively away, and he's throwing some good, firm fastballs, and then he finally gets him to roll over one to the shortstop. It's a breaking ball down, cutter actually, but by starting the runners, they stay out of the double play.
So with 2 outs and runners at second and third, the tying runs in scoring position. TEAHEN coming out of their dugout. 86 pitches so far for Umber. And he'll stay with him.
He wants to make sure that Umber doesn't make a mistake here. He's got his left-hander in the bullpen, and we watched on Friday when he brought a left-hander in to turn Victor Martinez around to the right side.
Well, he would almost certainly. Well, Martinez coming up, then you've got Peralta.
Well, he wants to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake here.
So Victor strolling to the plate. Here are his breakdowns. When he's DHing, he's batting .344. When he's catching, he's hitting only .247. And so Martinez has been really good this year as a designated hitter, although he's 0 for 2 in this game. But a golden opportunity here to tie this one up. Ball 1. The inning started with a double by Dirks. 1 out later, a walk to Ordonez. Cabrera's ground out advanced the runners. And Martinez has been really good in these situations all season long. Oh, look out. Tried to get out of the way, and he ended up swinging at that pitch.
Very awkward looking. Good call, though.
Yeah. Clearly went around. Now the 1-1. Line drive, base hit right field. Dirks will score. Here comes Miguel. Misplayed in right by Quentin. Both runners score, and we are tied.
Don't know what Ozzie Guillen went out to say to the youngster Umber, but apparently Umber did make the pitch he needed to make, and he allowed Victor Martinez to do what he's been doing all season long, drive in big runs.
52 RBIs now for Martinez.
And Gene Lamont was sending Miguel home all the way. Quentin came up, he mishandled the ball, and for that very reason, it'll probably be 2 RBIs for Victor instead of 1 in an air on the outfielder because Miguel was running all the way.
And it's a 3-3 game. A clutch 2-out knock by Victor Martinez. That'll bring up Peralta. Little pop up, shallow center, gonna drop, base hit. Wasn't pretty, but that's going to be the end for Umber.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And no doubt, Peralta will take this base hit. Ball flying, bat flying.
Out of the sixth, and the big hit by Martinez. It's the first hit the Tigers have had at runners in scoring position in 15 at-bats in this series. And leave it to Victor to get it. Chris Sale will be the new pitcher out of their bullpen.
He's got electric stuff. And I mean electric stuff. 38 strikeouts in 36-plus innings this year for Sale. He got off to a miserable start this year, but lately he's been dealing, as the rest of their bullpen.
Only 22 years old.
His fastball in the mid to upper 90s. Got a really nice breaking ball, really good changeup. He's going to be in their rotation in the near future, maybe as soon as next year.
Carlos lines one to right field, sinking, base hit, and it rolls by the right fielder Quentin. One run scores, that's Martinez. Peralta goes to third, and the Tigers have their first lead of the day.
Carlos Guillen has a lot more power hitting left-handed versus hitting on this side, but what he does have when hitting right-handed is some very good hand-eye coordination. That's a 96-mile-per-hour fastball sliced to right field, misplayed a little bit, I guess you could say, by Quentin, only because the ball got past him and the run was able to score.
And so it's 4-3 Detroit, with runners at first and third. Crucial two-out hits.
You know what the biggest call of this inning was? It was Jim Leyland allowing the runners to take off on the 3-2 count when Cabrera was up, which kept them out of an inning double play.
Yep. It would have ended the frame.
Biggest call of the inning.
Avila takes one low and away.
But it also helps to have that guy in the batter's box that you know, that you trust, that's not going to strike out there. And he has that in Miguel.
Took the words right out of my mouth. It's, I guess, easier to make that call when you have Cabby standing up there. But still a good one nonetheless. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Avila. Sale probably grew up watching the Tigers a lot in spring training. He went to Lakeland High School and is from Lakeland, Florida. Just 22 years old.
Long, tall drink of water.
Slow roller hit toward third. TEAHEN off to his left. Off balance throw is in time. Not an easy play for Martin, but he made it. Inning over. Big inning for the Tigers. They put up a 3 spot. Andy Dirks got it rolling with a leadoff double. Victor with a clutch 2-out hit. Brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chrysler, imported from Detroit. Honoring Sparky Anderson all season long here at the ballpark. We have a defensive change. Don Kelly is the new right fielder. He will check in for Maglio Ordonez. And we have some action in the Detroit bullpen. Koch and Albuquerque warming up. So Brad Penny now has a 1-run lead to work with as we go to the 7th inning. Kelly, by the way, bats in the 3 slot, vacated by Maglio.
Penny will not have a lot of rope in this particular inning. If anybody gets on, Jim will be looking to go to that bullpen that's well rested and performing well lately.
And the first pitch is in for a strike on Gordon Beckham. Well, it's a bullpen right now that Dave Dombrowski apparently is very happy with. I mean, they've performed pretty well through most of the season, especially Albuquerque.
Well, the back end of the bullpen is nice with Koch and Albuquerque and Benoit and Valverde.
The 0-1.
It is no secret that the Tigers may be looking for another starter to help them in the second half of the season.
Well, it's going to get interesting because as we get closer and closer to July the 31st, you know, this year there are, I think, a few more teams that are in the race than may have been in previous seasons. So maybe that tightens the market up a little bit. Who knows?
Everybody needs pitching.
Here's the 0-2 to Beckham. Got him. Strike 3. Beckham tilts his head to the side as if to say, I don't think so.
94 mile-per-hour fastball by Brad Penny away from his arm side, located beautifully.
Just his second strikeout of the game, and they've come in the last 2 innings.
Check out the location. That is right at the glove. We showed you some video earlier where Brad was not hitting Avila's glove, and that's how the White Sox put that 3 spot on the board in the second inning. But Brad has settled in, and I mean, he has settled in nicely the last 5 innings.
Well, he's only thrown 74 pitches. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Guillen on the backhand, double pumps, and he is safe at first base as Cabrera had to leave the bag.
Nice range, but I don't think Carlos was going to get Martin even if he hadn't double pumped. But it's good to see him moving as well at second base as he has moved the last couple of days.
One out single. TEAHEN now 1 for 3. Tying run is on for Chicago. Juan Pierre.
About time for him to bunt.
He slaps one in the air toward left, slicing away from Bosch. Not a play.
He had the one bunt base hit on Friday night. It did Juan Pierre, and it was with a runner on third base, less than 2 outs, so he got an RBI out of that as well.
You see Penny has really tightened things up after that 3-run second.
He made an adjustment, which is what you have to do.
Again sliced in the air. Bosch on the run this time, reaches and makes the catch. 2 gone. We remind you to follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and a whole lot more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com if you'd like more details. Alexi Ramirez with 2 outs. And he lines one to left, base hit. His first hit today.
That'll be it. Jim's not going to let him lose this game here today.
And here he comes. Paul KONERKO due up. And Penny is going to be done for the afternoon. And so as the Tigers go to the bullpen, we will step aside. Pitching change in this one with the Tigers up by 1 run. Playing the 7th inning, White Sox threatening with 2 outs, and it's a very important game here because A, the Tigers don't want to be swept, and B, Cleveland is leading Baltimore 3-1. That game is in the 5th inning, and the Indians came in with a 1-game lead over the Tigers. And so they're going to count on Albuquerque now to put out the fire here in the 7th inning, and he'll come in with 2 men on and 2 men out.
Al, fresh off the disabled list where he was for 15 days. He also pitched in yesterday's game, and his numbers this season are eye-popping. He's got 5 wins, 1 loss, and sub-200 batting average for right-handers and left-handers against Albuquerque. And he hasn't given up a home run.
So he will face KONERKO here. 1 for 3 for Paul KONERKO. Ball 1.
KONERKO, one of those veteran hitters that will try to the best of his ability to make Albuquerque throw that slider up in the strike zone. And there are some young right-handed hitters in the league that have no chance whatsoever against Albuquerque.
KONERKO has seen him twice, and he's 0 for 2 against him. So he's got that knowledge base, a couple of at-bats to work with. 2 runners aboard, TEAHEN and Ramirez. Low and outside, down to block it, Avila. 2-0.
I don't know if I'd throw him a fastball. I don't know. Even though the count calls for a fastball, and he's got a good one.
As high as 97 in the velocity range for Albuquerque.
KONERKO can hit a bullet when it's straight.
Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss.
He was sitting on a fastball, and Albuquerque threw him that slider that stays on the fastball plane all the way until it gets toward home plate, and then it just disappears. That's the difference. Avila was going down to block that ball and stayed up and almost hit right off the heel of the glove. Great call, by the way, on Avila calling for that breaking ball in that count.
Strike called on the inside part of the plate. KONERKO disagrees.
He's upset with himself. Didn't pull the trigger on it. A hanging breaking ball.
Fly ball. Right center field. Dirk's on the run. Still going over, and he'll make the catch, ending the inning. Albuquerque gets the out. They strand 2. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Well, the Tigers in 1 point today trailed 3-0. They now lead 4-3 on a gorgeous afternoon here in the Motor City. A little bit warm, but that's okay. 92 degrees right now here at the ballpark. Paul's having some fun today. Tiger fans having some fun as well. Thanks to a comeback, the Tigers able to take the lead in the 6th inning. And we check out our Comerica game summary here this afternoon. Brendan Bosch with a solo home run in the 4th inning snapped a 17-inning scoreless streak for Detroit in this series. Brad Penny has now gone 5 consecutive starts with 6 or more innings. He was really good today.
He has been a nice pickup. No question about that. When you go out in the open market and you're looking for a number 5 starter, that's the definition of one.
Tigers getting a little bit better in their last couple of bats with men in scoring position. And now they will come to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th, facing Chris Sale, Inge, Dirks, and Bosch. Brandon 0 for 2 in this game. And Sale misses high and away. He came on in the 6th inning, surrendered the hit to Carlos Guillen, which put the Tigers on top. Brandon sends a ground ball to third. Behind the bag, Mark TEAHEN. 1 gone. Four runs, 8 hits, Detroit. Chicago 3 runs, 9 hits. Andy Dirks got it started in the 6th with a double off the glove of the shortstop Ramirez. And he pops this one in the air. Shallow center field, routine play for Rios. 2 quick outs. There's activity in the Detroit bullpen. Joaquin Benoit. The 8th inning is usually reserved for Joaquin with a lead. And it appears he'll be coming on. Here comes Bosch. Brennan hit the home run that got the Tigers on the board back in the 4th inning. Philip Umber was cruising along. That was the only run he had given up until that 6th. 0-2. Jesse Crain is heating up in the Chicago pen. Swing and a miss. Bosch goes down, and a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Sale. On to the 8th we go. Sox today as the Tigers look to avoid a sweep here this afternoon. We go to the 8th inning, and the Tigers have made some changes now. Andy Dirks will move from center to left field. Brendan Bosch is out of the game. Casper Wells will take over in center field. And the Tigers have a new pitcher as well. That would be Joaquin Benoit.
Joaquin Benoit has pitched a lot better lately. His numbers are still elevated against left-handed batters versus righties, but his overall body of work last 20 games or so has been much, much better.
It'll be Adam Dunn, Carlos Quentin, and Alex Rios to face Joaquin Benoit. Adam Dunn is 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the Sox 3-run second. The only inning they have scored so far. They play the shift on. 3 defenders to the right of second base for Dunn, and Carlos Guillen is out short right field. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Yeah, that's why they play defensively like they play against Adam Dunn. And they're hoping that he hits it right into the teeth of their defense.
That's low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dunn has not struck out in this game. He has bounced into a double play, but he has struck out 121 times this year, which tops the American League. On pace for over 200 strikeouts.
Mid-90s fastball around the belt buckle. Will get another strikeout. They're going to go with it. Get it up, though.
Outside. 2-2. And he got him. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Dunn is caught looking. 1 away.
Hey fans, it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or to sell the tickets to the games you can't make on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Detroit Tigers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
Well, 1 out. That'll bring up Carlos Quentin. No hits today for Quentin, although he has a walk and has scored a run. A.J. Pierzynski is the only White Sox player that has not reached base in this game. Swing and a miss.
Nice little slide piece here by Benoit. And you need to make sure that you do locate it off the plate when going away from Carlos Quentin, because he stands right on top of the dish, literally.
And because of that, Quentin gets hit quite a bit. In fact, he's been hit 19 times this year.
He doesn't move very well. He does not get out of the way of some of those inside pitches very effectively, obviously. Surprised he doesn't have any armor on that left elbow as much as he gets plucked.
1-2.
A little tardy on the fastball. You don't see Quentin tardy on many fastballs. Not against us anyway.
Quentin came in 6 for 9 in the series, but today is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Another heater.
And the 1-2. He got him. Strike 3. Looking. 2 strikeouts for Benoit.
And the pitches that he has gotten the strikeouts on, you couldn't make a better pitch. Mid-90s fastballs on the black at the knees.
Here's Alex Rios. He's had a pretty good day today. Singled, he's doubled, he has knocked one in. Ball 1. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
The one thing that the White Sox, the Tigers, and the Cleveland Indians all have going for them right now, all 3 bullpens are pitching really good baseball, especially when the Tigers have a lead late. They don't usually relinquish the lead.
Yeah, Valverde's numbers are certainly much different when he comes on in a save situation as opposed to like what happened yesterday. And the big potatoes warming up right now. Tigers are 43-0 and they lead after 8 innings. And the 2-1 popped up. Right side of the infield. Cabrera giving way to Guillen. Ending the inning. 1-2-3 for Benoit. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Comerica Park, trying to hold on to this one, win 1 game in this series. It'll be a day off tomorrow and then back to work on Tuesday night. Guillermo Moscoso and Rick Porcello, 6:30 airtime right here on Fox Sports Detroit with the Athletics coming to town. Short 2-game series.
They've had some injuries to their pitching staff since the last time we saw them.
And so we'll see what transpires in that 2-game set before the Tigers hit the road again. And Don Kelly gets his first at bat.
I think Anderson is having Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, much different look.
Drawing a blank on the other left-hander's name right now that had the perfect game. Dallas Braden. He's out with an injury.
Right. Cahill really hasn't been the same type of guy he was early in the year.
When we saw him, he was
really good.
Terrific.
Meanwhile, Kelly is eaten up there by Sale. 1 gone.
Sale is lethal against left-handers. Hey fans, today on Fox Sports Detroit, join Tom Brokaw for Boys in the Hall, the personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends. This week it's former Yankees pitching great Whitey Ford. Boys in the Hall immediately after today's Tigers coverage here on Fox Sports Detroit.
So Chris Sale does his job. He retires Don Kelly. That means Ozzie Guillen is going back to the bullpen. And Jesse Crane is coming in. So we'll step aside as they go to the pen. will be the first man he faces, and you see the numbers there. Career against Crane. You remember the last time these two met? June 4th, back in Chicago, and Cabrera shot him a long way. Game was tied at 2 in the 9th inning, and Miguel hit a 2-out, 2-run shot. And we'll see what Miguel can do with him here. Trying to fatten up the Tigers' lead. It's 4-3 right now as you look at the numbers on Crane.
Well, he's one of the reasons why the Minnesota Twins bullpen is struggling mightily this year. They do not have Jesse Crane in those numbers that you're looking at right now, because those are the same types of numbers he was posting for the Minnesota Twins for years out of their bullpen.
No balls and 1 strike.
Free agent last year, given a 3-year contract by the Chicago White Sox.
Miguel in this game is 0 for 3. In fact, he's grounded to the shortstop Ramirez 3 straight times.
That's usually not to Miguel Cabrera. He is not pull happy by any stretch of the imagination. He knows how to drive the ball the opposite way.
Ball high. 2-1. Three and 1 on Cabrera.
Every time Cabby steps in that batter's box, opposing pitchers just try to invent pitches. And because of that, they tend to fall behind Miguel.
Fill the count now 3-2 as Crane comes in with a 95-mile-an-hour heater. Rod mentioned Crane had all of those years coming out of the bullpen for the Minnesota Twins from 2004 up until last year. Routinely 60, 70 appearances in that range. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Cabrera. Last 3 Tigers have gone down on strikes.
Three-two fastball in the mid-90s at the bottom of the strike zone, swung right over the top of by Miguel Cabrera.
That is 11 strikeouts for Chicago pitching in this game. 8 by the starter Philip Umber, who established a career high.
Well, hopefully they hang on to win the game.
Here is Martinez. Well, it was Victor that delivered the big 2-out, 2-run single in the 6th inning. That would tie the game at 3. He has seen Crane a little bit over his career, 3 for 12 against him. One ball and 1 strike. White Sox bullpen has retired each of the last 6 Tigers in a row. And when the Sox come to the plate in the 9th, they'll have the bottom of their lineup 7, 8, 9. Here's a strike on the outer edge, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Martinez is out, and the Tigers are down in the 8th inning. You're watching Tigers baseball this afternoon, presented by Bell Tire. try.
Carlos Guillen came off the disabled list yesterday, and he's already paid huge dividends defensively. He made about 8 plays in the game yesterday. He also started a nifty double play today, grabbing the ball, flipping with the glove to the shortstop Peralta, and then he came up. In the very first pitch he saw from Chris Sale at 96 miles per hour, he whistled it to right field for a knock and an RBI. So that's the reason why the Tigers hold on to a slim 1-run lead here today. It's been Carlos Guillen.
And it's a lead that Papa Grande will try and convert into a save as the big right-hander comes on now for the Tigers out of their bullpen.
He's had no problem in these types of situations this year. 24 of 24, but however in other situations Papa Grande has struggled a little bit.
So here come the White Sox now, down by a run in the 9th inning. First pitch is in for a strike on A.J. Pierzynski. Here are the numbers we were kind of alluding to earlier in save situations and non-save situations. Look at the ERA when a save is not on the line. Otherwise, he's been money. Tigers today have been out hit 9-8, but they lead by 1. Pierzynski takes, it's a ball, 1-1. 2/3 yesterday. He threw 20 pitches against the White Sox, and they got 3 runs against him. Rolled foul. 1-2 on Pierzynski. A crowd of 37,049 hoping for a Tiger win here today on a really hot 92-degree day here in the Motor City.
They got a lot of sun. That much is for sure.
Get back toward the seats, and out of play it goes. Pierzynski hanging tough. 1-2 the count stays. Beckham and then TEAHEN due up. Tigers trying to win their 50th of the season. It was Benoit that had to kind of carve through most of their big hitters in the 8th, getting done Quentin and Rios.
Setup men usually have to do that. They usually come in when the game's on the line, runners in scoring position.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled away again.
That's why it's very valuable to your team, if you're a contending team, to have that lockdown guy pitching the 8th inning for you too. Most of the good teams have that guy.
Low, and that evens the count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pierzynski picked up an RBI, I should say, back in the 2nd with a sacrifice fly. He is a career .284 hitter.
Well, you want contact right here if you're Valverde. You don't want to run the risk of going 3-2 and eventually walking Pierzynski, because that means we'll see Lillibridge as a pinch runner, and he's got speed. We don't want to see him.
Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. So it has gone full. The slimmest of margins for Valverde to protect a 4-3 Tiger lead. They scored 3 in the bottom of the 6th to go up by 1, and it's been that way since. Fouled away.
Might have got a little help there from AJ. That looked like ball four, looked like it was up, but when a guy's throwing in the mid-90s, yeah, your decision time, you don't have a lot of it.
This will be the 9th pitch coming up. And this at bat by Pierzynski. If nothing else, he's battling Valverde here.
And Valverde had to work hard yesterday.
And again, the 3-2. Fouled away. You knew Pierzynski would give him this type of battle. We mentioned a couple of times he doesn't strike out much. And Valverde having trouble putting him away. Beckham and then TEAHEN here in the 9th inning for Chicago. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead and now trail 4-3. And he walked him. Valverde got ahead and lost AJ Pierzynski.
Well, here comes Lillibridge.
He'll be your tying run as Pierzynski is done for the afternoon. Well, at least the Tigers are getting some help from the Baltimore Orioles. And Dino and Markakis have gone deep. Baltimore now leads Cleveland 5-3 in the bottom of the 6th. And the skipper making a slow walk out to the hill.
Well, this will have nothing to do with mechanics. But he will talk about Lillibridge standing on first base. He is having a conversation right now with Harold Baines. Lillibridge can run, and more than likely he will be looking to steal a base. Leadoff walks. Man.
I know it. Hopefully this one will not come around to score. Leland has said his piece. Beckham 2 for 3 in this game. Couple of singles and an RBI. Had an RBI against Papa Grande yesterday.
And in case you're wondering about how many steals Lillibridge has, he has 9. He's been caught 4 times.
Popped up bunt back into the seats. So Ozzie, at least on the first pitch, electing to try and bunt him up. See if that's still the strategy.
He almost did us a favor. Almost did the Tigers a favor.
Leadoff walk to Pierzynski. Lillibridge coming out a pinch run. And he bunts right through it. Now it's 0-2.
Bunting looking like it's a little foreign to Gordon Beckham.
And you wouldn't think that'd be the case.
Nope, you wouldn't. That's a good pitch to bunt right there. He has 6 of them.
So it's 0-2.
Valverde using a little bit of a mini slide step, which means he's not going to allow Lillibridge to get a good jump off first base. And that may have been the message that Jim Leland delivered to him. You got to be a little quicker. You just can't give him second. It would be nice if Valverde was able to convert his 25th save of the year. And knowing the ball club has a day off tomorrow. Because if it didn't have a day off, he would not be usable.
Fouled away again. Yeah, that's a good point. So Jim Leland able to go with him again here today, knowing that everybody gets a day off tomorrow. Especially after, what did we say, 20 pitches yesterday?
Yep. He's going to throw at least that many today.
Valverde has thrown 14 so far, has not recorded an out. He walked the leadoff man. And again, the 0-2. Beckham fouls it away. Well, they really are scrapping here. Brzezinski had a lengthy at bat before drawing the walk.
Not a good 0-2 pitch here by Valverde. It's up in the strike zone. It's a split-fingered fastball. It didn't do a whole lot. And a really good swing by Gordon Beckham.
Bouncing ball to short. They'll only get one. And Lillibridge, the tying run, moves to second base. So in effect, that was as good as the bunt he was trying to get down.
Lillibridge really got to second base in a hurry. I mean, he got there so fast that Peralta didn't even entertain the thought of trying to get the force out at second. And he wasn't even running on the pitch.
Well, here comes Mark TEAHEN now with the tying run at second base and one out. TEAHEN a single in 3 at-bats today. Peralta was sneaking in behind the runner, and he was out of position when Valverde brought it home.
Let's take one more look at it and see where Lillibridge is when the ball hits the glove of Peralta. He's not even in the picture right now, but shortly you'll see him slide in. Johnny may have had a shot to maybe shuffle to Guillen quickly to get that force out.
Agreed. One 1-0 on Mark TEAHEN. That'll get foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. TEAHEN's had 4 hits in the series, including a double. Tigers got 1 in the 4th and 3 in the 6th to go ahead after falling behind 3-0 in the 2nd. The White Sox have not scored since all 3 in the 2nd inning. Sergio Santos, their closer, is heating up. Here's the 1-1. Checked it, and he went. 1-2 on Mark TEAHEN. This next pitch will be the 20th of this inning for Valverde, which will equal his total output from yesterday's game. Juan Pierre is waiting on deck. He's been a tough out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. TEAHEN is out of there, and there are 2 gone.
That's a tumbler. I mean, they kind of stayed up. TEAHEN a little upset he didn't put that ball in play. But Valverde will take it, no doubt. Here's a pest, though.
He is indeed. So
absolute pest.
It's going to be a tough final out to get here with Pierre coming in. Crowd to its feet, 37,000 plus this afternoon. And he popped it up at home plate. Avila waiting. And the Tigers win.
It's a good win. It's a great win, as a matter of fact.
Down 3-0 early. The Tigers did not fold up shop. They come back and get 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 6th. And they hold on to beat the Chicago White Sox 4-3.
And they have a chance to go back into first place if the Baltimore Orioles continue to beat the Cleveland Indians.
Much more coming your way from Comerica Park. Nice win for the ball club as Papa Grande celebrates.